I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, July the 9th, brought to you in part by Fairpiece, that revolutionary product that is scientifically proven address the stress in your cattle. It's not just for high-risk cattle. Anytime cattle are exposed to stress, it's appropriate to use Fairpiece. For more information, go to fairpiece.com. Also, Unionville Livestock Market in north central Missouri and Creston Livestock Market in south central Iowa. Unionville had a big sale on Tuesday, and they also featured their 3 loads of Rock and R, their regular consigners there. They had 3 loads in, and those 3 loads of 8-weight steers averaged 855 pounds with an average price of $320.33 for backgrounded cattle. They're going to have another big special at Unionville coming up on July the 22nd. Now, Creston Livestock Market's got a big special today. Their back to grass special. Here today, July the 9th, they got a big sale. Consignments include the Walt Glenn cattle. He's got 260 yearlings. Their steers weighing from 8.5 to 9.5 be black and top quality. The 3T cattle, 150 Angus steers and heifers weighing from 5.5 to 700 pounds, be long time weaned, everything done. Glenview Farms got 120 yearling steers coming in weighing 8.5 to 9.5, and then many strings, different consignments of fancy yearlings and home raised calves there, local cattle, as good as you can find anywhere. Check out that sale at DVAuction.com. Hello, CME Cattle Futures. Boy, the board's come on strong this week already, and we're just now starting Wednesday. The feeder cattle board's already gained $9, $8 or $9 here on your nearbys, but they're at contract highs on all your traded months of feeder cattle. Live cattle are very close to contract highs. We really didn't expect to see this big push here after the holiday week, and the board kind of crashed last Tuesday before the holiday, but it had gained most of that back by the end of the holiday week. So these are new gains we're seeing here, but we're seeing the board kind of close the premium gap there that cash has held against the board here for quite some time. They're still quite a ways back, but they are narrowing that. We've seen 2 weeks now. Of course, one of the weeks was a holiday week of light purchases, negotiated sale purchases by your packers. And even though they're said to have had a lot of cattle lined up for July, they're still bound to be short. And we're going to find out later this week to see how hard they come in for cattle. But your box beef cutout values have gained a lot of ground. We're now seeing your packers trade in the black as high as these prices are, and your slaughter has been really tight. So we're still at that struggle here. Our packers going to buy some cattle, get some product lined up. I mean, they've got excellent demand for beef, even though we're seeing historically high prices. But it's going to be another week of seeing that. But boy, the board has been really friendly so far this week. I want to tell you about Emporia Livestock Auction. They've got a big sale coming up here today, and they're starting out with a video sale with a lot of those Flint Hill cattle just west of the barn coming in. Those 90-day double stock cattle are getting ready to come off, and they've got a slug of them on their in-house video there, and you can view and bid that on DVAuction. Included in that is the Arndt brothers. They've got 360 head of 900-pound, 3-colored steers, Charolais red and black there, but they're really good cattle. Be green coming in off the blue stem. The Luthi cattle, they've got 3 loads of those, weighing from 8.5 to 9, be black steers, top quality. Smith cattle, they were put together, they're fairly locally and running out there on the blue stem. Smith cattle's 410 head, 860-pound steers. They'll be 85% black, they'll be green, and they will be good. And then the Shadow Valley Ranch has got 449 head of 950-pound black and red Angus cattle. They've got a northern origin, all be yearlings, all be green, the best you can buy. And then later, after the video sale, the cattle through the ring, which you can also view and bid on DVAuction.com. They got the 190 head of 850 to 950 pound mixed steers coming in, and then a partnership deal of 170 head, 775 to 850 pound black heifers. They'll be coming in off the grass. Crawford cattle, they got 30 head, 800 to 900 pound red white face steers coming in. They'll be off the cow. But an excellent sale at Emporia. We just recently signed them up or got them broadcasting on DV Auction, and we hope you tune in and view and bid on those cattle, and they'll be excellent there coming in off the Flint Hills. Now, Superior, those guys out in the week in the Rockies with Superior, they are loving this board, guys. The cattle sellers especially, but I picked out a top sale for you that happened on Tuesday. It was the Cedar Top Ranch. They had 240 head of feeder steers, 910 pound steers. They're home raised. They're Angus, red Angus, and Balancer with top quality, best you can find genetic black Angus bulls on them. Those calves have been grass only. Be 910 pound yearling feeder steers in Chadron, Nebraska. All the bells and whistles. I mean everything. GAP 4, NHTC, natural, never been cursed at, haven't even seen, let alone felt a big yellow hot shot. Selling for September, 240 head weighed 910 pounds for September, bring 330. Wow, big time quote there. Let's talk about your board on Tuesday, and it was just as good, better than Monday, and Monday was very impressive. But your August live cattle futures up 407 at 219.97. Not very often you see live cattle up over $4, guys. October was up 387 at 216.82, and then your back months up $1.42 to 320 higher. August feeder cattle up 540. That's right, $5.40 higher at 319.12, and that has surpassed your real-time index and by a long ways your CME cash feeder cattle index, which is lagging way back behind. But September feeder cattle futures up 565 at 319.17, and now your September is higher than your August feeder cattle. Your back months were up 435 to up 590 throughout the rest of the traded months, guys. Very impressive on your feeder cattle futures. December corn is down 6.5 cents a bushel. Grain's cheap at 4.14 1/4. November beans down 3 1/4 cents a bushel at 10.17 1/2. And your hard red winter wheat for September down 5 cents a bushel at 5.22 1/2. Fat cattle trade didn't really get going, but I think we've already seen enough to know that it's going to be higher, guys. And we've been down here of late, and we're ready to get going back north. Iowa sold a load of fat cattle there at 235. That's as high as they traded them last week, guys. They traded one load there. That's all that sold in the Northern Plains. Nebraska didn't trade a hoof. The rest of your Northern Plains sellers have priced their cattle $4 to $6 higher, and so it's going to be higher, guys, unless we see the board crash or something else happen. But these guys are getting ready to gain some ground back in this market. Kansas sold 500 head at $225. I realize that's $10 back of your Northern Plains trade, but that's as high as they sold them in the Southern Plains last week, was $225. So pretty dang good. Texas didn't sell anything. Didn't get the full report out of Stockman's livestock market in Yankton, South Dakota, but they did have their fat cattle auction. It was good. They sold their fats from $235 all the way up to $247.50 on those program cattle, guys. Box beef cutout values were higher again. Choice significantly higher, up 206 at $393.04. Selects up 93 cents at $378.46. Your slaughter through the first 2 days of the week, estimated cattle slaughter 232,000. That's 6,000 less than last week, which they were ramping up, getting ready for the holiday, and 3,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Performance Livestock Analytics, guys. Performance Beef is software. It's as easy to use as your cell phone. It can help you manage your feeding operation. You can figure break-evens at the touch of a button. It simplifies feeding, performance, health data recording. It makes you look very, very professional, especially if you're feeding cattle for other people, guys. Check it out at performancelivestockanalytics.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market. Brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance. They are working to protect your livelihood, guys. Your real-time index at the conclusion of your Tuesday sales sitting at 316.41, up 288 compared to the end of Monday's trade. And like I said a while ago, CME cash feeder cattle index lagging way behind at 311.40, but it is getting ready to get a big, big boost. On Wednesday, we've got Bassett Livestock's barbecue special. They'll have over 10,000 head. They'll have a lot of index cattle. They'll all go in there. It is going to make that index jump. I'm going to bet $5. Some other sales, South Central Regional Stockyards in Vienna, Missouri, also on DVAuction.com, like Bassett. They're having a special with a lot of fancy calves out there in South Central Missouri. Get a hold of them at DVAuction.com. Talk about your big sales on Tuesday. How about Beaver County Stockyards? They had 2,500 head. Feeder steers and steer calves were $8 to $12 higher, called by your Federal State Market Reporter. Feeder heifers and heifer calves $5 to $10 higher. Excellent sale there. They were your Superior Steel sales, home of Superior Standard livestock equipment, guys. Stick out sale of the day. Check out this automated market report through Cattle Market Central, and you see 289 head of 6-weight steers. They average 667, weighted average price 342.31. 330 head of 7-weight steers, average 736 at 336.51. 347 head of 9-weight steers, didn't have too many 8-weights. They averaged 910 at 307.88. Not on this report, but they did have 305 head of light 10-weight steers. They averaged 1016 and bring 296.48. Look at some heifers. 139 head of 7-weight heifers, averaged 744 at 299.68. And 102 heifers weigh 875 at 279.35. Going to give you several individual high quotes from all around the circuit, guys. How about OKC West in El Reno, Oklahoma for their Tuesday calf sale? They sold 59 steer calves, weighed 488 at 490. That's getting up there pretty high, guys. How about Interstate Regional Stockyards in Cuba, Missouri? That's a DV auction broadcaster. Also, 91 head of 638-pound steers bring 381 in Cuba. How about Holton Livestock Exchange in Holton, Kansas? They sell 66 steers, weighed 866 at 326. That's impressive. How about up a little further north at Flint Hills Stockyards in St. Mary's, Kansas there? 60 head, 916-pound steers at 318.85. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday in your Macrocin No BS top quote for the day come out of Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota. It was 267 head of 1,059-pound steers bring $300.25 or $3,180 per head. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.